Life isn't always sunshine and perfect Instagram moments. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes people hurt you intentionally or not. And in those moments, you're left with a choice: let that pain define you or rise above it with grace. I've been there. I've felt the sting of betrayal, the ache of disappointment. But through it all, I've learned that how you respond to hurt says more about your strength than anything else. So today, I want to share with you 5 powerful ways to handle people who hurt you. Not with revenge, not with regret, but with clarity, courage, and deep self-respect. Because you deserve peace, you deserve healing, and most of all, you deserve to take your power back. Let's be honest, getting hurt sucks. Whether it's betrayal, rejection, or just being misunderstood, pain has a way of shaking us to our core. But the first mistake we often make is trying to hide it. We're told to be strong, move on, or don't let them see you cry. But strength doesn't mean silence. It doesn't mean burying your feelings under a fake smile or pretending you're fine when you're breaking inside. I want you to know this: your pain is valid. You don't need to justify it to anyone. You don't need to compare it to someone else's or feel guilty for how deeply something hurt you. If it mattered to you, it matters, period. Acknowledging the hurt doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. It means you had the courage to feel, to care, to be vulnerable. And let me tell you, that is the bravest thing anyone can do. You can't heal what you don't face. So cry if you need to. Talk to someone. Write it down. Sit with the discomfort. But whatever you do, don't numb it. Don't silence yourself because of shame. I've learned that wounds don't go away by ignoring them. They grow deeper. But when you look at your hurt with compassion, instead of criticism, you start to take your power back. You start to heal. So no, you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to bounce back overnight. You just have to be honest with yourself. Feel it. Own it. And then, step by step, begin to rise. Because you're not broken. You're just in the process of becoming whole. There's a big difference between protecting your peace and pushing people away. After we've been hurt, it's tempting to shut everyone out, to build emotional walls so high that no one can reach us. I get it. I've done it. But here's the thing: when we build walls, we don't just keep the pain out, we also lock ourselves in. We lose the chance to experience real connection, healing, and growth. That's where boundaries come in. Boundaries aren't about being cold or distant. They're about being clear. They're a way of saying, this is what I need in order to feel safe. This is how I deserve to be treated. And you know what? That's not selfish. That's self-respect. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're unforgiving. It means you've decided not to be a doormat. It's telling the world, I can love you and still say no. I can be kind and still have limits. Whether it's a friend who constantly crosses the line, a family member who drains you, or a partner who doesn't respect your space, boundaries are how you teach people how to treat you. The truth is, when you start valuing yourself, not everyone will clap for you. Some people will call it attitude when it's really self-worth. Let them. The ones who truly care will honor your limits. The rest were just benefiting from your lack of them. So don't build walls. Build gates with strong locks and keys you hold. Let love in, but don't let toxicity run wild. Your time, your energy, your heart, they're sacred. Protect them not out of fear, but out of fierce self-love. Because boundaries don't keep people out, they keep you whole. When someone hurts us, the instinct to react is almost automatic. We want to clap back, expose them, maybe even hurt them the way they hurt us. Trust me, I've had those moments too. But over time, I've learned something powerful. Reaction is impulsive, but response is intentional. And those few seconds between feeling the pain and choosing your next move, that's where your power lies. Reacting is emotional. It's raw. It's driven by ego and that immediate need to defend yourself. But when you react, you give the other person control. You let their behavior decide your mood, your energy, your day. And honestly, they're not worth that much space in your life. Responding, on the other hand, takes awareness. It says, I see what you did, but I choose how I deal with it. It's not about being passive. It's about being in charge. It's about pausing, breathing, and checking in with yourself. What outcome do I really want here? Will this bring peace or just more chaos? Some situations require a conversation. Others deserve nothing but your silence. Some moments call for grace. Others call for distance. But none of them require you to lose your peace to prove a point. I've had to teach myself to be a woman of grace, not just grit. To let my values, not my emotions, guide my reactions, because dignity is louder than drama. And when you learn to respond instead of react, people stop being able to push your buttons. You become unshakable. So the next time someone comes at you with negativity, remember this: their chaos doesn't deserve your calm. Hold your head high, protect your energy, and respond with strength, not spite. Let's get one thing straight. Forgiveness is not about letting someone off the hook. It's not saying what they did was okay, and it definitely doesn't mean you have to allow that person back into your life. Forgiveness is about something way more powerful than that. It's about you reclaiming your energy, your peace, your power. I used to think forgiveness was a weakness, that if I forgave, I was giving someone permission to hurt me again. But what I've learned through experience and healing is that forgiveness doesn't free them, it frees you. Carrying bitterness around is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It doesn't work like that. Resentment weighs you down. It keeps you tethered to a moment you deserve to move past. Forgiveness is a choice, not a one-time event, but a process. And sometimes you might have to choose it over and over again, especially when the pain runs deep. But each time you choose it, you're taking one more step toward emotional freedom. You don't have to forget. You don't have to pretend it didn't hurt. But you can say, I will no longer let this define my story. That's power. That's healing. And that's how you rise, not in spite of the pain, but because you transformed it. When you forgive, you stop being the victim of someone else's cruelty and start being the hero of your own recovery. You stand tall, not because they made it right, but because you refuse to stay broken. So forgive. Not for them, but for your soul. Because you deserve peace more than they deserve punishment. That's the real glow up. Let's be real. When someone hurts you, your first instinct might be to prove something, to show them you're unbothered, to make them regret ever crossing you. We all get tempted by the idea of revenge. That little voice saying, watch me rise, just so you can watch me from a distance. But here's the truth: payback feeds your ego. Self-worth feeds your soul. I've learned that success that's built on spite doesn't last. Because it's not rooted in love, it's rooted in pain. And when your growth is driven by resentment, it becomes about them, not you. That's not power, that's distraction. What's truly powerful is choosing to invest your energy into becoming the best version of yourself, not for revenge, but because you know you deserve more. When you stop chasing validation and start nurturing self-worth, everything shifts. Your glow becomes untouchable. Your peace becomes priority. Your progress becomes personal. Self-worth is about knowing who you are even when someone tries to diminish you. It's standing tall even when no one's clapping. It's waking up every day and choosing yourself, your healing, your dreams, your future. And trust me, the best revenge is living well authentically and unapologetically. Not because you want to prove them wrong, but because you finally realized they were never the measure of your worth in the first place. So stop rehearsing comebacks and start rewriting your narrative. Pour your time, energy, and love into YOU. Because nothing is more magnetic than a person who no longer needs to compete, convince, or chase. You're not here to settle a score. You're here to rise, and to do it with grace, not grudges. Your energy is your currency. Where you spend it, who you give it to, that shapes your life more than you realize. And after someone has hurt you, you have a choice. Keep pouring energy into proving your worth to the wrong people, or start reserving that power for the ones who truly value it. I've learned sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away. Not out of anger, not with drama, but with clarity. Just because someone has access to you doesn't mean they deserve it. And just because you have history with someone doesn't mean they're meant to be part of your future. We live in a world that tells us to keep giving, keep forgiving, keep showing up for people who continuously let us down. But here's the truth: you are not a limitless resource. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your peace, especially if they've proven they don't respect it. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's essential. It's about being intentional with your presence. Surround yourself with people who pour into you, who lift you up, who see your light, not those who dim it. And let's be honest, some people thrive on drama, on chaos, on making you question your worth. You don't need to fix them. You just need to release them. That's not cold, that's growth. So before you engage, before you respond, before you try one more time, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? If the answer is no, give yourself permission to protect your peace, because the most powerful version of you is the one who doesn't waste her light trying to warm people who prefer the dark. Pain is inevitable. Whether it's heartbreak, betrayal, loss, or rejection, we all face it. But here's what I've learned: pain doesn't have to break you. It can build you. If you let it, pain can become the fire that forges your strength, the fuel that drives your purpose. I've had moments where I was knocked down, doubted, dismissed. And yes, it hurt deeply. But instead of letting that pain define me, I asked myself, what can I do with this? How can I grow from this? Because staying stuck in bitterness doesn't heal you. Transformation does. You see, there's power in turning your wounds into wisdom, in taking the lessons from your lowest points and using them to uplift others. Whether it's speaking your truth, creating something meaningful, or simply showing up stronger the next day, that is purpose born from pain. And no, it's not easy. Channeling your hurt into something positive doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. It means saying, this happened, but it won't be the end of my story. It means letting your scars become symbols of survival, not shame. Purpose doesn't always come from a picture-perfect journey. Sometimes it comes from the mess, from the fight, from the parts of you that were shattered, then stitched back together with resilience. So instead of asking, why me? Ask, what now? Don't let pain be your identity. Let it be your ignition. Because when you rise with purpose from what tried to destroy you, you don't just heal, you inspire. There comes a time when you realize the most powerful move you can make is simply to walk away. Not with anger, not with shouting, not with receipts or revenge, but with dignity. Quiet strength speaks volumes, and honestly, not everything and not everyone deserves a dramatic exit. I've had moments where I could have clapped back, where I could have exposed, retaliated, or made a scene. But I've learned that you don't need to set everything on fire just to prove a point. Sometimes, the most unforgettable statement is made by choosing peace over pettiness. Dignity is not weakness. It's knowing your worth so well that you don't need to scream it. It's walking away without needing closure from people who were never truly open. It's trusting that life has a way of revealing truth without you having to force it. Drama might feel good in the moment. It feeds the ego. But dignity, it feeds your soul. It lets you sleep at night knowing you chose yourself, not your wounds, to lead the way. And listen, walking away doesn't mean you lost. It means you refused to keep losing yourself. It means you outgrew the nonsense, the cycles, the games. You rose above it gracefully. So don't beg for explanations. Don't chase apologies that won't come. Don't perform pain for people who didn't care about preventing it. Just leave with your head high, your peace intact, and your heart ready for better. Because you don't need to win every argument. Sometimes the real win is being free from it. And when you walk away in silence, but with self-respect, that echo lasts longer than any scream ever could.